So, so actually, believe it or not, it's 5 years ago today or this month, August of 2018. I decided that I needed to lose weight. I was 210 pounds 5 years ago, and I was working with a young lady. Her name was Ellie. She ran a nutrition shop down in Tucson. Ellie is now, I believe, lives in Washington. Anyway, she encouraged me to come up and watch a show. And I was over 40 at the time. I was 48. And um, I go up to watch the show, and it's my first time. And John walks out on stage. And she's like, you just come up, watch, tell me what you think, and then let's sign you up to see if you want to compete. John walks out stage for the first time. I got up and I walked out. I was like, nope, ain't going to happen. I can't compete against this guy. Like, this is a masters competitor as an all natural. And Ellie's plan was for me to compete in May of 2019. So from August of 2000, so I basically have from August of 2018 to May of 2019 to lose a bunch of weight, put on muscle, do all the things that you needed to do, having never done this before. You know, I was a competitor, high school, military career. I did all those things. So when I decided to compete, I competed, and as a novice, didn't do particularly well. But seeing John, I decided, I can do this. So when I came back to actually compete again in 2021, I was actually amped because Ben had changed the league rules in that you could earn your pro card the same day, win your pro card the same day that you were a novice. So I got an opportunity to actually compete against you and John, which was huge for me, which was I thought was great, And like I said, John is Mark, you and John, both great guys, great people. I've not met a single person in the IPL that isn't a pleasant person to be around, talk to, encouraging, all the great stuff. And, John was one of them. So, even today when I saw him come in, I'm like, hey, man, you talked me into coming back on stage, just to kind of give him a hard time. But, John's a great guy too. So.
That's good stuff. All right. It's been a couple of years since we've seen you on stage. So I've had the privilege of judging alongside you for the past few Phoenix shows. So what does it mean for you to get back on stage after judging for a couple of years?
It means a lot, actually. So like I mentioned before, I just had a hip replacement May of 2022. So after we judged the show in April, a month later, I had a hip replacement. So trying to figure out if I could even do this again, to be on stage now, tomorrow, and have come this far since a hip replacement. I owe a lot of thanks to a lot of people for that reason. And it means the world to me to be able to come back up on stage again. And honestly, do I think I'm as in good a shape as I was before? Probably not. But from where I came from a year ago after a hip replacement till now is night and day. And I mean, I could go on and thank a billion people, starting with Ben, starting with you, Tavish Seal, who's my coach, my girlfriend, Sarah, who's actually up in our room right now. She's watching this, I hope, live. My family, my friends, everybody's just been so supportive. The gym I go to is place Be Strong down in Tucson. I think a great facility. Just everybody, If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So.
That's inspiring. Has anything changed in your training, nutrition, and your prep since your last show?
Yeah, a lot. I switched up coaches. So Tavish is coaching me this time, and he approached it from a much different mentality than my previous coach. And we really worked a lot on putting on size. So I'm actually coming in probably 10 pounds heavier than the last time I was on the stage. But I think I'm a little bit better conditioned, but I'm a little bit fuller, if all of that makes sense. So last time I walked on stage, I was 166. As of this morning, I was 166. So yeah, everything, a lot has changed. I changed environments. Going over to Be Strong Powerhouse gym down in Tucson. They are a gym that's more geared towards bodybuilders and people that compete. Rafe and Melissa, who run that gym, know all that. Rafe actually coached me on my posing this time around. So which was great. Having a guy who owns a gym that competes, his wife competes. I mean, like it's been, everything's just been different this time. So
How are you feeling about the show tomorrow and the guys that you are matched up against?
I'm a little nervous.
Why?
Well, John's been, I've competed, like I said, I look up to John. So looking up to John and getting to compete against him is a big deal. I mean, he's won the pro Masters Pro 4, 5, 6, 90 times. I don't even know. John's won it so many times, and he's won it in other divisions and other leagues that he's competed in too, which is pretty incredible. And then I just met Bob today, and seen Bob's physique, and I've seen him, compete in some of his in the magazines and things like that. So, it's a little intimidating. I've only been up there, one other time against some pros. So,
What do you think about the IPL, the whole concept of the Super Pro qualifier, where you could potentially have another pro joining the lineup, kind of like a wild card? What do you think about that whole concept? And does that excite you? Does it worry you?
A little bit of both, actually. It excites me because that's how I got to be a pro, right? The Super Pro qualifier allowed me to be a pro because I won the novice that day, earned enough points, and then became a pro, and then had the opportunity to compete against John and Mark. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's really great that you don't have to come back to another show later that year or something like that and put your body through those rigors again. And I mean, let's be honest, at 50, I'm gonna be 52 here in 3 months. 52 years old, like takes a wear and tear. So to be able to do one show a year, is good for me. Had to do multiple would be rough. So I'm excited to see anybody that joins us up on that stage, because I did it. I think it's I think the super qualifier is awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope they judge him. I hope he steps up there with us.
Awesome. I was going to ask for any shout outs or thank yous, but I think you covered all that.
Well, thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Rob Meindl, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.